Racial colorblindness is the idea that people should ignore racial differences and treat everyone as if race does not exist. This perspective suggests that emphasizing race can lead to division, and that the best way to promote equality is to focus only on individual qualities rather than racial identity. Colorblindness is often used as a strategy to reduce bias and discrimination by encouraging people to see others as individuals rather than members of racial groups. However, while it aims to create a society where race is not a factor, it has been debated for its impact on social awareness and inclusivity. Now let's look at some examples of racial colorblindness in practice. One example of racial colorblindness is when schools or workplaces promote policies that ignore racial identity in decision-making, such as admissions or hiring, to ensure that race is not a factor in selection. Another example is when individuals claim not to see race when interacting with others, believing this approach prevents prejudice. Some legal systems apply colorblind principles by enforcing equal treatment under the law without considering racial history or disparities. These examples show how racial colorblindness attempts to create fairness by treating everyone equally regardless of racial background. Now let's explore some strengths of this approach. One strength of racial colorblindness is that it promotes the idea of equal treatment, encouraging individuals to judge others based on character rather than racial identity. It can also reduce social division by focusing on shared human experiences rather than differences. Another advantage is that it may help prevent stereotyping by discouraging racial assumptions in interactions. Additionally, in some situations, colorblind policies can create a sense of fairness by ensuring that decisions are made without racial bias. These strengths highlight why racial colorblindness is seen as a way to promote unity and equality. Now let's consider some weaknesses of this perspective. One weakness of racial colorblindness is that it can overlook the impact of historical and social inequalities, making it harder to address disparities that still exist. By ignoring race, it may prevent meaningful discussions about discrimination and the need for policies that support equity. Another issue is that it can make individuals uncomfortable discussing race-related issues, leading to avoidance rather than understanding. Additionally, colorblindness can limit awareness of cultural differences, reducing opportunities for meaningful cross-cultural learning and connection. These weaknesses show that while racial colorblindness aims to promote equality, it may also ignore important social realities. Now let's explore an alternative approach. An alternative to racial colorblindness is racial awareness, which acknowledges racial differences while working toward fairness and inclusivity. This approach encourages open conversations about race, history, and inequality to better understand and address disparities. Rather than ignoring race, racial awareness promotes equity by considering how different experiences and backgrounds influence opportunities and treatment. While racial colorblindness seeks to eliminate racial considerations, racial awareness aims to create understanding and ensure that equality includes recognizing and addressing differences where necessary. Both perspectives have different approaches to fairness, but racial awareness emphasizes inclusion through recognition rather than avoidance.